Hi, this is Tricky Ricky with another video. In this one we're going to be talking about the oval chainring and my perspective, pretty average rider, and what I think an oval chainring gives to me. Okay, so the first thing to note here is that I've actually switched from a 34 tooth round chainring to a 32 tooth oval chainring. The reason I've dropped down a little bit is because I wasn't sure about sizing and how much space I would have between my chainstay and my chainring just here. If you are thinking about doing this, just be aware the oval chainring at its widest point is about the same as the next size chainring up. So if you're running 34 and you don't have much room, you're probably only going to be able to put a 32 tooth on there. Right, that out of the way. I am a pretty average rider, and I took a lot of convincing as to what kind of benefit an oval chainring would give to me. Honestly, it's been one of those things that it was never on my radar. I didn't really consider purchasing an oval chainring, but I did stumble across a video on YouTube, and I'll pop the link in the contents below. And this was basically similar to me, an average rider who actually did a side-by-side timed comparison of how the oval chainring affected his ride, and it was a bit of an eye-opener for me. So I kind of took the plunge, and I bought a 32 tooth absolute black oval chainring, and honestly I've been a little bit blown away by it. I think for me the tester was, I had a climb local to where I live. It's quite a technical, rocky, rooty climb. I've never managed to climb it from bottom to top on a round chainring. Didn't really attribute that to the round chainring, just attributed it to a lack of fitness on my part. As soon as I put the oval chainring on, I smashed that climb first time. And I guess it's hard to put my finger on it. It doesn't really feel like it's making anything easier. There is a strange sensation. The first half a dozen crank turns, you do feel a strange sensation with an oval chainring, but after that it just feels natural. The best way I can describe it is that it almost feels like you're in a slightly easier gear, but you're going the same speed. So you're in the same gear, but it feels fractionally easier. So you're just getting that forward momentum, and you're not quite having to put the same amount of work into it, which means you can just go that little bit further. It's a very, very subtle sensation, and honestly I wouldn't have necessarily believed it until I'd tried it. So I just wanted to make a very quick average rider's perspective video on the oval chainring. In terms of good makes, the absolute black chainrings are well regarded as possibly some of the best oval chainrings. The oval shape is slightly offset and it's very specific to where your crank turns, and it's designed to give you the maximum kind of power benefit at the most powerful part of your stroke, while slightly easing the section where your legs are more bent and your quad is more engaged, and the kind of part of the stroke that builds that lactic acid up in your quads. And it just makes it feel as though you've just got that bit more, little bit more power. It doesn't necessarily make it feel easier, it just feels like you've got that bit more power, which propels you just that little bit further up. And it's such a subtle thing, but I can tell you from my perspective, it has made a massive difference. Also, dropping 34 to 32 tooth doesn't appear necessarily to have drastically changed my gearing. I still feel like I've got the same amount of gearing in the 10 tooth as I do in the 46 tooth. So it's a really strange thing. So there you go, my very quick bang average rider's view on an oval chainring and whether it's worth investing in. My perspective used to be that I'm not an athlete, I'm not a world-class cross-country rider. The benefit that this could bring to me, I didn't really think it would be worth looking at, but I can tell you it has actually made a substantial difference. So there you go guys, a super quick video on the oval chainring, specifically the absolute black oval chainring. I just want to summarize what I think this chainring brings to you. If you are an average fitness person, an average technical rider, kind of like me. I'm not doing super big jumps. I do look for the technical lines. I want to feel as though I'm trying to hit the gnarly stuff, but my level of gnarly is way off what a pro rider would be. But I can honestly say the oval chainring has made a massive difference to my climbing ability, and it just, if I was to put it in a nutshell, it makes me feel as though I'm slightly fitter. I don't know if that really makes sense, and it's really hard to quantify. It's subtle yet it's dramatic at the same time. So I guess what I would say is, if you are contemplating going oval, you can pick a second-hand absolute black up on eBay for about 40-50 quid. I think it's worth giving it a shot, because you might just be surprised. You might have that one climb which has beaten you time and time again. It's a bit technical, it's a bit rooty, a bit rocky. Just by putting an oval chainring on, you might just be able to do it. It's certainly, that was the case for me. It might be the case for you. So that's it for this one, guys. If you have found this video useful, drop me a like. If you want more content, hit that bell for notifications. And by all means, if you feel like doing it, subscribe. This is my little dog Pooch. Thought I'd introduce her to you. And that's it, guys. I shall see you in the next one. Thanks very much.